ladies and gentlemen. Once again, as always, it's the one, it's the only, it's the motherfucking sports betting Mexican, Miguel Magallon. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, it's the president, it's the founder, it's the motherfucking CEO of Magallon Entertainment. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the motherfucking podcast. And welcome back to the motherfucking sports betting Mexican. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to talk about our early leans, those early plays, those early motherfucking teasers and parlays. And we're going to break down the entire Sunday ticket for NFL football. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what I'm about to say next. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get the pins and the motherfucking pads, because the sports betting Mexican is back to whoop that sportsbook's ass. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this shit started. Yay! All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So, starting off with Thursday football action. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a deep ticket right here. This shit is deep. This shit's going to be mayhem, anarchy. It's going to be a fucking war zone out here this weekend. There's a lot of plays I love this weekend. Starting off with the Washington Commanders going at it with the Green Bay Cheesehead motherfucking Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a toss-up game for me. It was kind of 50-50 to me. Y'all know I like Washington. I roll with Washington. I love what I see from Washington. But ladies and gentlemen, give me the Cheesehead. Give me the motherfucking Packers, because I think the NFL loves the Packers. They love the Cheeseheads. They love Jordan Love these days, and everyone loves the Micah Parsons trade. Ladies and gentlemen, give me the Cheeseheads. Give me the motherfucking Packers at home, -3.5. I'm leaning towards taking them on the money line. Honestly, just being honest with you, I'm leaning towards that money line. I don't mind 3.5, and I also wouldn't mind a teaser on this game. I might flip this shit and get Green Bay Packers plus 3.5 on that 7-point teaser shit. And then on the over-under, instead of 48.5, let me get it over 41.5. If I get that shit over 41.5, that means I only need, 6 touchdowns to cash a ticket, right? 7 times 6, 42. Am I tripping? Hell nah, ladies and gentlemen. So that teaser looking good to me. Green Bay Packers plus 3.5 and the over at over 41.5. Come on, bro. You know there's going to be a lot of action in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, give me the Cheesehead Packers on the money line. Let me get them on the 7-point teaser too. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll roll with the Cheeseheads this weekend on Thursday night. All right, moving on to Sunday now. We got the Jaguars going at the Cincinnati Bengals. Another matchup of two undefeated teams. Jaguars, they beat the Panthers. They're alright. I'm really not sure about Bryce Young. Never been a fan of Bryce Young. Don't really fuck with Bryce Young. I feel like he's really young. He's really raw. And he's really small in my opinion. I feel like he ain't gonna last a long time in this league. Motherfucker looks tiny as fuck. Looks frail as fuck. Look like he about to get his ass whooped as fuck. But with that being said, they're going at it with the Bengals. I'm kind of feeling what I see from the Bengals. You know, they finally won, a week 1 game, week 1 fucking, divisional matchup last week against the Cleveland Browns, even though I think the Cleveland Browns should have won that game. Those turnovers, those INTs wasn't Joe Flacco's fault. I watched that game. Those receivers let that shit bounce right off their fucking gloves. You gotta fucking be kidding me. Getting paid $10 million a year, can't even catch a fucking football, and it hits you in the fucking hands. You gotta fucking be kidding me. I know Joe Flacco was frustrated as fuck last game. But with that being said, I like the Cincinnati Bengals here. I know everyone's hyped up about the Jaguars. Everyone's excited about the Jaguars. I don't really know about the Jaguars. Ladies and gentlemen, let me get the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they have the better offense. I think they have the deeper offense. And I'm just hoping that their defense doesn't completely fucking suck. We'll see what happens. But either way, everybody knows the Jaguars ain't winning the Super Bowl. The Jaguars aren't going to go undefeated. The Jaguars aren't going to go 5-0 or 6-0. I like Travis Hunter, but I don't think he's really built like that. Not as a defensive cornerback. I think he's okay as a wide receiver, but as a DB, I don't know if he built for that. But we'll see. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, let me get the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that offense is going to be too much. Same thing here. For this game, I'm probably going to take Cincinnati on the -3.5. Again, you could take them on the money line if you want. But this is another one. I really like the teaser here. Again, I feel like just getting the Bengals +3.5 and also getting this one at over 41.5 or 42.5. I think this is going to be another high scoring game. So we'll see. But again, same thing with the Green Bay Packers game. I'll take them on the money line. I'll take them on the spread. And I also like them on that teaser too. So we might fucking hit a triple threat. All right, moving on. Giants at Cowboys. Now this one for sure is going to be a fucking teaser. I don't really trust the Cowboys on the money line. I feel like that's a lot of risk right there. But I do believe the Giants suck ass this year. I think they suck balls. I think Russell Wilson's washed. I think he's done as a quarterback in this league. Get the fuck out of this league. He was great once upon a time, but I don't even know if he was really great, honestly. I feel like those Super Bowl runs they had in Seattle, that was because of Marshawn Lynch and the Legion of Boom, back when they had Cam Chancellor and fucking Sherman, and you know what I mean? Like, they had everyone, man. They had Bobby Wagner on that team. That defense was loaded, man. So, and they had Marshawn Lynch running the ball these days. Sheesh! Man, I don't know how much credit I give to Russell Wilson back in the day. I mean, he was good. He was nice. But that defense and Marshawn Lynch running that shit, they was fucking whooping ass back in the day in those seasons. But either way, I think Russell Wilson's washed. I think they need to bench him. I'm not saying Jameis Winston's the answer either, but I would just throw Dart out there. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? He's a rookie. He's going to suck dick. He's going to wet the bed. He's going to fucking be shit. But guess what? He needs to learn. He needs to grow up. He needs the experience. You know, him sitting on the bench and watching Russell Wilson suck dick, that's not going to make him any better. I mean, come on, bro. Come on, Dable. What are you doing? Put in the rookie. Who cares? You're probably going to get fired at the end of the season anyways. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Then you guys gonna come in and play fucking Dart. You might as well do it too. Shit. Russell Wilson is not the fucking solution. Near term, short term, mid-term, no fucking term. Get this motherfucker the fuck out of here. And him and Jameis Winston. They both suck dick. Either way though, Cowboys, I'm gonna take this one on the teaser. I'm going to get them at +1.5, basically. I might just do like a 6-point teaser. I'll just get them as a pick 'em. 6-point teaser, get better odds. I'll let you know in a minute who I'm going to tease that shit with. But real quick, moving on. Bears at Lions. Honestly, this was kind of a stay away game for me. I feel like I'm leaning towards the Lions, but I could be leaning towards the Bears. I feel like the Bears are going to be able to exploit the Lions when they're on offense, but I feel like the Bears defense doesn't really scare me, and I feel like the Lions offensively, they're going to have to get some shit together. Now, I know the Lions lost to the Packers, and they got dominated at the line of scrimmage, but that was the Packers with Micah Parsons, and the Packers defense does look legit. Like, the Packers probably have at least a top 10 defense in the league. They might not be number one in the NFL, but you can't tell me that there's 10 teams with a better defense than the Packers right now. I think Packers have at least a top 10 defense. I don't think the Bears have a top 10 defense. I don't think the Bears have a dominant defensive line. I don't think the Bears are fucking stacked with killers on the defensive line. I don't think so. So I think the Lions will bounce back. But again, I think Caleb will be able to put up a lot of points too, just because their head coach, knows the Lions so well. But either way, it's probably a stay away game for me. I don't like the spread. I don't like Jared Goff. I don't fuck with Jared Goff. Y'all know how I feel about Jared Goff. Man, fuck Jared Goff. He a fucking bitch ass pussy to me. So either way, fuck the Lions, fuck the Bears. I think they're both trash this season. Moving on, Rams at Titans. Now this one's interesting too. I thought the Titans hung in there very well with the Denver Broncos. I thought their defense actually played very well. I just feel like the Titans receivers were fucking ass and dropping every fucking ball that Cam Ward was giving to them. Cam Ward didn't look bad. I know he only had 12 completed passes, but when I went back and watched that game, I was looking at Cam Ward dropping dimes all over the place, and motherfuckers just weren't catching him. It was hitting him in the chest, hitting him in the head, hitting him in the hands, hitting him right there, around the neck. He was hitting him in the numbers, and these bitches couldn't catch anything. Man, Cam Ward's dad was in the fucking stands having a fucking panic attack. Like, damn, catch a fucking football, B. Damn. How the fuck y'all make it to the league and y'all can't catch anything? They was dropping everything, y'all. So I don't really know if the Titans are really ass like that. I don't know. I am leaning towards the Rams, though. I think I think McVay and that defense is going to dial up a lot of pressure. I'm not saying the Rams defense is as good as the Broncos defense. Broncos probably got a top 5 defense in this league. I don't know if the Rams do. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. They did look good against the Texans, but again, that's C.J. Stroud, and he's missing a lot of weapons too. And his offensive line is trash. Not that the Titans' offensive line is dominant, but still, the Texans' offensive line is still trash to me, in my opinion. So with that being said, I'm probably going to go ahead and take the Rams. This is probably the game I'm gonna tease with that Cowboys game. I'm probably gonna take that Cowboys -5.5 and just get them at a pick'em 6-point teaser instead, and get it with the Rams 6-point teaser. I think that's what I'm feeling. I feel like that's what I'm gonna be doing. All right, moving on. Who else we got? Patriots at Dolphins. Man, this is a tough one. I don't like either QB. I think Tua sucks ass to me. I think Drake May sucks ass to me. I think both these teams suck ass to me. So moving on, skipping that game. Next up, we got the 49ers at the motherfucking Saints. Ladies and gentlemen, 49ers are missing everybody. I feel like everybody's injured. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's, you know what I mean? Like, this is not a good game, B. I feel like the roster is just decimated, but I feel like the Saints suck ass. I feel like they suck balls. I feel like they're just fucking trash to me. And I don't know what's going to happen with Brock Purdy, what's going to happen with Ayuk, what's happening with George Kittle, what the fuck is going on with Trent Williams, what's going on with the offense. I don't know, but Pearson looks good to me. Either way, I'm going to roll with the Niners. I feel like the Saints just suck ass. I feel like they're going to have the number 1 pick or number 2 pick in the offseason, and they're probably going to trade it away. They already supposedly have their future QB, even though they didn't want fucking Sanders. I thought Sanders should have been their QB, but whatever. Apparently they know better than me, but I look at Spencer and I'm like, bro, this dude sucks. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to roll with the Niners. I know they're injured. I know they're hurt. And I took them regardless last week because I trust Shanahan. I trust the offense. I trust, Purdy to make the right decision. McCaffrey looked well. He looked all right. I mean, he didn't look like he used to be, but, he could still catch the ball and be a decent receiver to me. I feel like the 49ers will get the job done. Now, that 4.5 looks a little bit scary, so I might have to parlay this ticket. I don't know what I'm going to parlay it with. This is going to be a money line parlay. Yeah, this is going to be a money line parlay to me. This is going to be interesting. I might parlay this one with that Bills game. I haven't decided yet. But I'm going to parlay this game with somebody. I'm either going to parlay it with the Buffalo Bills or I'm going to parlay it with the, damn, I'm thinking about taking it with the Ravens. Ravens look good to me too, y'all. I just saw that game. Ravens line opened up at 12.5. Now it's only 10.5. Shit. They got to be motherfucking kidding me. Nah, I'm going to leave that Baltimore game alone. I have a teaser for that game by itself. So I already have what? 1 teaser, 2 teasers? I got the Green Bay Packers on the teaser. In that game, right? Packers plus 3.5 and then over 41.5. That's easy money to me. I got the Cincinnati Bengals plus 3.5 and over 42.5. That looks pretty decent to me too. I think both teams are going to score a lot of points. Again, Bengals defense is trash and Travis Hunter is not a real defensive player to me. Defensively, he looks like ass. As a 3 wide receiver, he looks decent to me. So those are 2 teasers I already have lined up. I did talk about that Rams game. I like that Rams game. I'm going to tease that shit with the 49ers game. So that's going to be my 3rd teaser. My 4th teaser is probably going to be that Baltimore game. That'll be teaser number 4 or teaser number 5. I'll go ahead and type that shit in the comments section. Just make sure you guys write that shit down. But the other teaser, number 4, number 5, whatever it ends up being, is going to be the Baltimore Ravens -3.5, 7-point teaser. Get that shit tonight. I'm going to do a 7-point teaser, get a -3.5. And then on the over-under, instead of 44.5, let me get it at over 37.5, which means I only need 5 touchdowns and 1 field goal. I think the Ravens are going to score at least 2 or 3 TDs, maybe even 4 or 5 TDs by themselves. I feel like the Ravens want payback. The Ravens want some vengeance. The Ravens are going to fucking obliterate the Browns, in my opinion. They better obliterate the Browns, in my opinion. They can't afford to go 0-2. The Browns can go 0-2 because no one gives a fuck about the Browns anyways. No one gives a fuck about these bitches. No one wants to see Joe Flacco no more. We want to see Shadur Sanders. Fuck. That's what make the ratings go up. Let's be honest, all right? It's all about the numbers. It's all about the ratings. It's all about the moolah. It's all about the feria. That's the NFL. It's just a business. But anyways, Yeah, leaning towards Raven again, just like that Packers game and just like that Bengals game. This is the same thing. 7 point teaser. Let me get the Ravens minus 3.5, and let me get the over 37.5. That's 5 touchdowns, 1 field goal. Ravens will probably get 5 touchdowns by themselves. I just need the Browns to get 1 field goal. Don't fuck it up, Joe Flacco, or your receivers better not fuck it up because they dropped everything that game too, just like the Titans wide receivers. All right, moving on. We got Seattle going at the Pittsburgh Steelers. For some reason, the Steelers are only favored by 2.5. I think DJ Metcalf's going to go off. I think he's going to obliterate them. I think he's going to dominate them. I think he's going to decimate them, destroy them, just fucking blast them. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers minus 2.5. Straight up bet. All right, going back to that game earlier, I was talking about that 49ers game, wanting to tease it with something. I am going to tease the 49ers, or excuse me, I'm going to parlay the 49ers. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll do a teaser. Fuck it. Whatever does a better payout. But I basically like the 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. You could either parlay the money lines or you can do a 6 point teaser. And you can basically get 49ers plus 1.5, plus 2.5. And then you can get the Buffalo Bills as a pick 'em. But at that point, you might as well just make it a money line parlay. Fuck it. It'll be a money line parlay. 49ers, Buffalo Bills, both of them on the road. I think they both get the job done. Money line parlay. All right, so we got the Seahawks, Steelers, minus 2.5 Steelers, Ravens, that's a fucking teaser. Moving on, Denver Broncos. Ladies and gentlemen, give me the Denver Broncos on the road, minus 1.5. I know Mac Jones looked really good last weekend, but that's because the Miami defense is trash and Tua sucks dick. Let me say that again. The only reason the Colts won that game is because Miami's defense sucks ass and Hawk Tua over there sucks dick. Fuck that bitch. So with that being said, Broncos are coming into town. I expect more from Bo Nix. I don't think he's going to have 2 stupid ass INTs like he did last weekend. I think Sean Payton's going to fix that shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the Broncos are going to ramsack Mac Jones because he's still a fucking bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, Broncos minus 1.5. I think they destroy the Colts. Fuck the Colts. Next up, Panthers at Cardinals. Leaning towards the Cardinals here. This game to me does kind of look like a teaser kind of game to me. But I'm gonna leave it alone. I think the Cardinals are gonna win, but I don't want to do a teaser and I don't want to do a money line parlay. I don't really know. Maybe I take the Cardinals in this game. Maybe I don't. I do think the Cardinals will win, but I don't want to do a 6 point teaser. The only way I tease this game, honestly, the only way I'll tease this game is if I take the Arizona Cardinals as a pick'em on a 6.5 point teaser, and then get the 7 point teaser. So I'd get the Cardinals at basically a pick'em, and then I would tease that shit to over 38.5. Maybe I like over 38.5, but honestly, it's a stay away game for me. Fuck the Panthers, fuck the Cardinals, fuck both them bitches. 2 small QBs going at it, 2 little midgets in the boxing ring. You gotta fucking be kidding me. All right, next up, Eagles at Chiefs. Ladies and gentlemen, I took the Chiefs last weekend. They fucked up my last 7 point teaser, so now I'm gonna try to make it up. I feel like I lost on the Chiefs already, back-to-back games. Going back to the Super Bowl. Here we go again. I don't know how many times I could keep betting the Chiefs to win these games, and they keep letting me down. And now Xavier Worthy's hurt. The team looks like it's dysfunctional. Everyone's arguing with everybody. Meanwhile, the Eagles just keep doing what the Eagles do. Give the ball to Saquon Barkley. I feel like that's the much easier thing to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a pick yet, but I'm leaning Eagles. I'm leaning getting the motherfucking Philadelphia Eagles plus 1.5. Ladies and gentlemen, give me the fucking Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to run the shit out of that football. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to, do what Patrick Mahomes does. Travis Kelce hopefully finally shows the fuck up. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. Are the Chiefs really going to start off 0-2? Are they really going to start off 0-2? Well, without Xavier Worthy, shit, that's just what they might do. So I don't have a play yet, but I'm leading Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even like the Eagles. I don't fuck with the Eagles, but the Eagles do what the Eagles are supposed to do. They give the ball to Saquon Barkley. It's not that sophisticated. It's fucking simple. Just keep it simple, bro. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, what else we got? Falcons at Vikings. Stay away game for me. I don't think the Vikings are really that great. But I feel like they're all hyped up right now. But I feel like Michael Penix, man, they almost won that game against Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay is one of the best teams in the NFC, in my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, I could see the Falcons having a bounce-back game. And, the Vikings look like ass the first half of the last game. So I don't know which team they really is. That's probably a stay-away game for me. Not sure which way I'm leaning. Probably leaning towards the Vikings, just like I'm leaning towards the Cardinals, just like I'm leaning towards the Eagles. But I don't have any official plays on any of those 3 games. The games I like, I already gave you earlier in the clip. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And then the last 2 games before we dip out of here, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going at it against the Houston Texans. Leaning towards taking the Buccaneers. Leaning towards taking the Buccaneers at plus money line, plus 125. I don't like the Houston Texans. Their offensive line is trash to me. I said it once, I've said it again. And the Buccaneers offense looks like fucking lightning to me. And then last but not least, Chargers at the fucking Raiders. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the Chargers are going to destroy the Raiders. I know the Raiders beat the Patriots, but that's the bitch-ass Patriots. The Chargers are a better team. The Chargers are one of the best teams in the AFC, and the Chargers might end up winning the motherfucking AFC West, excuse me. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, those are all my early leans, all my early plays, all my early teasers, and all my early parlays. Ladies and gentlemen, official picks come out on motherfucking Friday. See you guys soon.